Now on KXLY4 HD News at 5, we have team coverage of all the latest local news, including the fight for a historic theater to stay alive. And Kylie Cruz has an update on the fire that killed an entire family in Orofino. Plus, Aaron Luna is in the Weather Center tracking some cooler temps headed our way. Live in the newsroom, I'm Colleen O'Brien. Your local news starts now.
Live from the KXLY4 HD Broadcast Center in downtown Spokane. This is KXLY4 HD News at 5.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. We have learned the names and ages of the family members killed in an Orofino house fire. 5 people total were killed in the fire early yesterday morning. Investigators say this is the deadliest fire in the town's history. The 2 adults killed in the fire were Alan West and Rosemary Wooster. Their children, Trevor Wiley and Zachary Wooster, were also killed, as well as a teenage friend, Colby Stedman. It is believed that all 5 died in their sleep from smoke inhalation, as there were no signs that they tried to escape the house. Investigators also said that during the sweep of the home, they found no working smoke detectors. KXLY4's Kylie Cruz joins us live now. And Kylie, unfortunately, having no smoke detectors is more common than we think.
And Colleen, oftentimes it takes a tragedy like this one to remind people to check their smoke detectors. Oftentimes working smoke detectors can mean the difference between life and death, because in the U.S. every 3 hours 1 person dies because of a house fire, and many of those deaths, well, they can be prevented.
And it should be a wake up to everybody in our community to look at this incident and learn something from it.
A heartbreaking story 145 miles away from Spokane. 5 people dead, including 3 teens, all of whose lives were cut short by a devastating fire.
Flames were shooting out the back window there about 6-8 feet tall, and it was very devastating to watch and see.
The home didn't have any working smoke detectors, which could have alerted everyone to get out.
Before your kids go to bed, before you, your spouse, your partner, whatever, take the time and make it a safety-conscious decision to replace or install smoke detectors.
Less than a quarter of the house fire Spokane Fire responds to actually have working smoke detectors. The department recommends you have dual smoke detectors like this one in your home.
So they're the best technology that we have to offer, with the additional 10-year 9-volt battery.
But it's not just smoke detectors you need to check. Also make sure you don't have overloaded extension cords or wall sockets. Investigators believe an overloaded power cord that was plugged into an electric grill sparked this fire.
You want to go to all of your circuits, make sure that they're not overloaded, make sure that you don't have extension cord to extension cord to extension cord. That builds up wire friction and can cause a fire.
It's simple tips like this that could save your life and the life of those you love the most.
And remember, oftentimes a smoke detector looks like it's in good condition, brand new, but it might not be. Take a look at this one, for example, 2000. That's when this one was manufactured. It is good only for 10 years. So this one is 3 years old. All you got to do is check the back of your smoke detectors. Everyone, important to do this tonight. Reporting live in downtown Spokane, I'm Kylie Cruz, KXLY4 HD News.
Thank you, Kylie. And be sure to check into KXLY.com for any updates on this story out of Orofino. KXLY.com is always on 24/7. The sun peeked out from behind the clouds just briefly today, intermittent, but it was still a chilly day. Let's check in with Aaron Luna. He's over in the Weather Center. We want warmer temperatures, Aaron, but I don't think that's going to happen, is it?
Well, you know, there is a chance that we're going to see warmer temperatures. We're going to have to get through a slight period of cooler temperatures before we see that, but they are definitely on the way. You can see outside right now a lot of convection throughout eastern Washington, generating these scattered showers we see. A little bit around surrounding areas of Spokane, but in downtown Spokane, we've been pretty dry for the most part. And of course, like you said, we did have some sunshine peeking through, which made the day worthwhile if you were outside. Up towards the higher elevations, we're seeing a little bit of a snow mix up there into the Panhandle. We're kind of seeing the same thing, a little bit lighter than yesterday, but that snow is out there. Down in the Palouse, we had a little bit of rain snow mix. Further on, as you head further south, you see a little bit of snow past Lewiston. Pull back just a little bit, check out our satellite and radar. Of course, the Pacific Northwest seeing rain all down the coast. Over the Cascades, a little bit of a mix there, and then snow in the very high elevations. That's going to continue into tomorrow as we have a low pressure system that's kind of sitting over the northern part of Washington. Current temperatures 41 in Spokane, 46 in Coeur d'Alene, a little bit cooler down in Pullman at 38, 56 in the Tri-Cities, Yakima at 53, and Wenatchee right now sitting about 51. Your HD day planner breaks down like this: 30 in the morning, so it's going to be another cool night, 42 by noon, topping out the day at 48. That's still below average, and we could see some afternoon showers. We'll tell you when these showers are going to move out and warmer temperatures are going to move in. That'll come up in just a few minutes. Colleen?
They literally went 1,279 feet in that avalanche at speeds of up to 53 miles an hour.
One person is dead, another still missing in a pair of avalanches. That's what she was talking about that struck near Snoqualmie Pass. One woman was killed yesterday when an avalanche hit a group of 13 snowshoers on Red Mountain. The group found her buried under 5 feet of snow, and she was confirmed dead at the Search and Rescue Command Post. Another 60-year-old man is still missing from the second avalanche that struck at Granite Mountain about the same time. The avalanches came down the mountains as heavy snow fell in the Cascade Mountains from a weather system moving in from the Gulf of Alaska. Now from our North Idaho newsroom tonight, Coeur d'Alene police need your help finding a man suspected of trying to rape a Coeur d'Alene girl this weekend. Around 5:30 yesterday morning, police say a man tried to rape the 16-year-old girl in and around the 1800 block of North 15th Street. Police described the suspect as a white man in his late 20s to early 30s. He has reddish hair, a scruffy goatee, and an average build. He was last seen wearing a dark-colored Carhartt jacket. If you know where he is, call Coeur d'Alene police. Will the show go on? At Interplayers Theater in downtown Spokane, there may be no more shows to go to. KXLY4's Ian Cole explains why the theater is in need of fundraising. Ian?
And calling Interplayers employees say that they need $150,000 in the next 6 weeks by the end of May. Now, employees who work there say that rising costs and low ticket sales have added up over recent years. They understand many companies have been hit by the recession, but they say if they raise this money, it should sustain the theater for several more years. The artistic director says the theater has value for the employees and for the city.
We're also, ironically, on the cusp of doing better things because of the improvements we've made here.
Give money. Give money.
Buy tickets.
Yeah.
Come and watch a show. Once you've seen one show, you'll be back.
100 people are employed by the theater over a season's time. Many are owed back salary, and that's something that this money could help pay for. Now, employees hope to gain a few corporate sponsorships, a few partnerships as well, and they're also asking that Spokanites help support the arts. Colleen?
All right, Ian, and why this May 31st deadline? Where does that come from?
That comes from the theater's board. They gave that deadline to themselves, basically saying, listen, we need to make this deadline because if people start giving us money, we need to have a set date to say we need to raise the money by this time or else we'll start giving it back. Colleen?
All right, thank you. And we will talk about more how the theater is planning to fundraise coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Around the nation tonight, a bipartisan gun control compromise is in the works in Washington, D.C. The compromise, drafted by Democratic Senator Joe Manchin and Republican Senator Pat Toomey, would expand background checks for gun sales to include online transactions and private purchases at gun shows. They say the bill targets criminals and the mentally ill.
This is about whether or not it's reasonable to try to make it more difficult for dangerous people for whom it's already illegal for them to have weapons, to obtain them.
The compromise would come to a vote in the Senate as early as Wednesday. We posted this story on our Facebook page today, and you've been sounding off all afternoon. Michael said, we have laws on the books that are not being enforced. Let's enforce the current laws first. And Sandra said there are laws against drunk driving, speeding, robbery, rape. People still do it. Does that mean there should be no laws because people are still going to do it? Tomorrow is tax day, the deadline for filing annual income taxes with the IRS. The agency says 97 million American taxpayers already submitted their tax forms by the 1st of this month. About 90% of those were electronically. And get this year the average refund is $2,755. I'd like a little bit more. Around the world tonight, our nation's top diplomat is in Japan today, attempting to ease tensions in Asia. North Korea threatened to launch a preemptive nuclear strike against the U.S. and South Korea in early March. Today, Secretary of State John Kerry met with Japan's Foreign Minister. Kerry pledged support for U.S. allies.
That the United States will do what is necessary to defend our allies, Japan, the Republic of Korea, and the region, against these provocations.
North Korea issued a scathing warning to Japan on Friday, saying Tokyo should, quote, stop recklessly working for staging a comeback on Korea, depending on its American master. A local business is doing their part to honor those who have served our country. Buck Knives in Post Falls wanted to do something special for veterans who were wounded in combat. They made commemorative knives and presented them to Purple Heart recipients this weekend. 65 vets who served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq all received those knives. Singer Justin Bieber is in hot water tonight. Coming up, see what he had to say about Anne Frank that has many upset. Plus, an old city hall bites the dust. It's all caught on tape. And beachgoers in South Seattle find a big surprise this weekend.
We're going to have some cold temperatures overnight. There's a freeze warning. We'll tell you where that's going to be. Plus, we have some records to tell you about coming up in a few minutes.
You're watching KXLY4 HD News with Colleen O'Brien, Aaron Luna with weather, and Tom Giles with sports. This is KXLY4 HD News at 5, your trusted choice for local news.